Hey everybody, Nick here, and tonight I got a little review for you of this guy right here. This is the NutSac Bags, yeah, that's the name, MagSatch. First off though, I want to do a little disclaimer. This guy was provided directly to me by the manufacturer as a freebie in exchange for a fair and honest review. And I did tell them that, hey, I'm going to do a full review. Could be good, great, bad, ugly, might be a gem, might be junk, and they still wanted to send it along. So I'm trying not to let that influence me, but you do want to keep that in mind as I'm going through things. Now let's do a size comparison. My channel, so it's a Spyderco-Delica, of course. Right here is a standard U.S. quarter, which probably isn't all that helpful. Right here is, let's see here. This is an iPad. This is the 9.5-inch iPad Pro. Right here is a standard sheet of paper, at least the American A4 size, like you find on PDFs. Well, the PDFs are a bad size comparison, but, hey, whatever, right? And then finally, here is a standard Bic Click stick sort of pen. And so you can see it's not a tiny little Murse here, but it is absolutely, it's there. And next thing, a little note, what is a Murse? I'm going to use that term over and over again. That's just a contraction for man purse, because let's be real here, this is a Murse. Then finally, there are two shapes and sizes and colors of this. Well, actually, there's only one size, this one. But there are two colors. They're all shaped the same. I can't talk, guys. This is the black version. They also have one that's a little bit more Indiana Jonesy in brown. So anyways, let's go into the good, the great, the bad, and the ugly of this little Murse here. So on the good side, first off, I gotta say, I do like the fact that this has a full leather bottom on there. The bottom of a bag is what takes the most abuse, generally speaking. You're setting it down on things, and so as I drop this guy on the bus, I mean, leather is easy to wipe out. It's more abrasion resistant, and frankly, let's be honest here, it looks nice. It makes the bag look a little bit more interesting and less cheapy than if it were just waxed canvas all throughout. So I like the fact that the leather on the bottom is there, and it's frankly a nice enough leather. I got no real complaints about that, so that's good. Next thing that's good are the zippers on this guy. Zippers seem like something that you don't really get bent out of shape about until you have a bunch of crappy zippers, then you handle some good ones. These are YKK zippers. That's apparently a beautiful thing, but look, these zippers work beautifully. They're very frictionless. Well, except for the friction, but that they feel nice, and they zip nicely, they zip securely. I'm a fan of these zippers. I've had bad zippers, these aren't bad zippers. So that's good. Next thing, I gotta say, the magnetic closure on this guy. So you can see here and over here that there are these magnets here, and then when you flip the guy shut, this lid stays on there, and it's hard to see, but I can be kind of pushing this guy around, and it doesn't want to come loose until I lift it off there, and then the magnets undo. And so those magnets are actually kind of nice. It means it's very easy to just flap this guy shut, and that means that the elements are going to, wash right off of this guy, so to speak. It's a nice little detail, and the magnetic system actually works surprisingly well. So often those are just like, yeah, there's a magnet, can we tell? No. But this one works, so I like that very much. Next thing, the strap on this guy, which I have detached at the moment because it would just be driving me nuts, works very nicely. You've got this little guy here, which is kind of along the side, and so you just pull it off there and then clip it on. But look, it's a solid connection, and the strap itself is good. It's solid here. Get this guy off of here. Doesn't want to come off too readily, which is actually good, but it's a very thick cloth webbing here, and it works fine. The strap on this is absolutely unproblematic, which I appreciate very much. Next thing, there are some pockets to this guy, and I do like a little bit of pocketing in general in a bag sort of thing. You got a nice big front pocket here, which is relatively flat, but and zips up entirely. And then inside here, you have one pocket over here, you've got another pocket over here, and then you've got a pocket in the back here. There you go. Along with this big central area, which actually has a fair amount of room in there for some things. And so that's very, very nice. I like the fact that there is some sub-organization in here because it makes it a lot easier than just having an empty bag, basically. So that's good. Next thing, this guy works great with an iPad. I will very often, and iPads are great, little tablets, any of those kinds of things. They work very nicely. And in fact, in this guy, a 10.5-inch iPad slips nicely into this back pocket, allowing anything else that you want to put in here to be outside of there. And as a matter of fact, you can actually slide the top over here and zip this pocket with the iPad in there, leaving the iPad basically kind of concealed. And so you can just reach in and grab other things. Look, I like it. It's a nice deal, and that particularly makes it a little bit more pickpockety proof, although this is already pretty pickpockety proof. That's weird. I like saying that, at least, though. But anyways, the iPad fits very nicely. It fits a 9.5-inch Pro with a 10 point whatever the heck it is other version. So that's good. Next thing, I do like the fact that there is the one pocket on the outside, because that makes it a little bit easier. You know, you can keep whatever you, but if you just want to throw something into there, like throw your phone in here, you can just reach in and grab that very straightforwardly. You flip up the flap, you grab, and you're in. Case closed, problem solved. Then finally, I do appreciate the presence of the flap on here. Not only does it make it look a little bit classier, but it also prevents a little bit more, it helps to block the elements. And frankly, even if you keep the bag slightly open, the flap will keep things from coming out of there. So I appreciate that very much, and that, to me, at least, is the good of this guy. It's got a rain flap, it's got the easy access pockets, works nicely with an iPad, nice selection of pockets, got a great strap, the magnetic thing works, the zippers are good, and the leather bottom is great. Let's talk about what's really great. To me, what is great about this bag, 100%, is the build quality. This feels very, very nicely made in a couple of ways. All of the webbing and strap work is very nicely done. Everything feels very secure. I can really pull and grab and yank, and nothing's coming loose here. The side here, I mean, you can see that even the strap holders are really sewn in nicely with nice thick straps of canvas, double stitching here. The zippers are good. I mean, everything about this bag is very well made with nice thick canvas. This just feels like a quality bag. I have no trouble trusting this, and I've had bags even from nicer brands. My fiance is a little bit of a Coach nerd, meaning the Coach purses and whatnot, not like the football Coach. Doesn't seem like her style, but anyways, I digress. This guy actually feels a lot better than some of the male-oriented bags that Coach has out there whenever I look in their store and like, oh, is this interesting? No, so this to me feels very, very nicely made, with the leather and everything, thick straps, and so the build quality on this to me, along with the materials that are making it, are just great. Let's talk about what's bad. Okay, so on the bad side, first off, I gotta say, this is a little bit slower to access than some. And that's usually, the reason for that is this little flap that they have over the zipper. So if I zip this guy shut entirely, what you can see here is that this little canvas flap covers up the zipper area. This means that rain, or in the case of my videos, falling spittle, let's be real here, cannot very readily get into the main compartment, which I like, which is a good thing. But it also means that it's a little harder to get into this guy. You have to kind of fish around for the little pull, and then unzip it in that way. And so this is not a quick access sort of bag. And the same thing with this outer pocket. Do I want them to change it? Honestly, no. But it is something you're going to want to keep in mind. If you're carrying your man purse for quick access, this may not be your quickest access choice. Next thing, this guy is a little heavier than I expected. It is not lightweight. Here, I'll use my my little postal scale here. Set this little guy down. Hold on, tear it real quick. We are looking at a total of 1.32 pounds, which is, 1 pound, 3.2 ounces. I hate freaking imperial units. But anyways, there you go. That's the weight of this guy. And so this guy is a little heavier, just empty, than a lot of things might expect. So keep that in mind. Speaking of things that are a little higher than expected, the price on this guy is a little up there. You're looking at $134 for this. In a weird kind of thing, on their website, they do what's called price transparency, where they give the value, how much they pay for labor, etc., blah, blah, blah. You know, it's interesting, and if you buy their figures, it seems reasonable enough. The thing is, that's a fair amount of money. It's not, a Coach bag. It's not, oh my God, expensive, but the thing is, it's up there. I mean, clearly the NutSac folks are treating this guy like a family jewel, and they charge accordingly. The thing is, with the build quality and whatnot, I'm not so bad out of shape about the price. I think it's not all that bad if you want what they're after here. Next thing, there is no padding or anything in this bag, which means that, for instance, on this bottom part, there is really nothing but just fabric right here. So if you have your iPad in there and you set it down hard, guess what? Your iPad's slamming into whatever is hard. And same thing, there's no internal divisions in here aside from, there's this pocket and then these two pockets, but there's no other internal division, which means if you set your iPad in there along with, 15 pocket knives, you're going to scratch up your knives and your iPad. So that's something to keep in mind, or your Android tablet. I don't want to discriminate here. So there you go. Next thing, come on, guys, give me a pen slot. Seriously. One thing that I'm going to carry is a freaking pen, so just give me a little slot right here in the side that I can just slip a pen into with a little bit of stitching down the other side. It would be a very nice thing, especially if they did it over in this corner here. Because I find that very often pens are, falling out and getting stuck down in the bottom there. Give me a pen slot, damn it, guys. It's not that hard. Next thing, this pack is honestly a little bit too small for me. That's my biggest objection to your little MagSatch here. And the reason I say that is that this will not in any way, shape, or form fit a 13-inch MacBook Pro, which is what I've been using lately. Actually loving. It will not do that whatsoever. And in fact, the thing that really gets to me about this guy is this is a sheet of freaking paper. I carry a lot of sheets of freaking paper on a regular basis. Stuff I'm reading for work, stuff I'm writing for work, whatever. The simple fact is that this guy, I can put a piece of paper into this guy, but the thing is, the edges of the corners of the paper are going to be sticking out like this. I have the bottom of this paper right up against the bottom of this bag, and still the paper is sticking out, and I can't zip this up with a piece of paper in here. So this is not big enough to even carry a 3-page freaking research paper. And to me, at least, that always felt really constraining. I'd have to, like, fold whatever I'm reading in half to put it in there. I don't like that. That's kind of to me at least, for what I do, that lack really, that hurts. So I wish it were just slightly bigger in order to accommodate at least a sheet of freaking paper, guys. But, okay, whatever. Maybe for some people that's not a big deal. But the other thing is that this guy fills up very quickly. I tried on a couple of occasions to take this guy out into the wild, so to speak, namely on the bus to a coffee shop. And very often I found that, by the time I put the stuff I needed for the day in there, a charger, etc., this guy got really overfull very quickly. And when it gets overfull, it gets very awkward because you've got this little man purse that's just like packed to the gills. The mag thing doesn't work anymore. By the time it's too overfull, the mag thing is barely attaching. It's not a great thing. And so it's very small, but when it fills right up, it gets kind of awkward. And then finally, let's be real, guys, this is a Murse. This is a man purse. This size, I gotta be honest, then no one will look at this and say anything but, oh, wow, he's got a purse. And look, I have no problem with men who carry purses or women who carry purses, but you gotta be ready for that. Not everybody is, as a matter of fact, and you gotta own it. If you're gonna carry a man purse, you're like, yeah, I am rocking this man purse, damn it. And so that's something you're going to keep in mind. The fiance gave me countless heck. Can you count heck? I don't know. Carrying this guy because it was a man purse. And, she loves her purses, but yeah. So anyways, you got to be ready for that. And that, to me, is the bad, is that it is a Murse. It's a little awkward when overfull, and it's easy to fill up because it's a little too damn small. Especially the paper thing bugged the heck out of me. It also does not have a pen slot. There is no padding or internal division. It is very pricey, although I don't think it's out of reason. It's heavy, and the flap over the zipper makes this a little bit harder to access than most. Let's talk about what's ugly here. Okay, to me what is really ugly about this bag is not a big deal, but it could be for you. And that's right here in the corner. They have put the name of the bag company right on the outside of the bag. Now, don't get me wrong, the name is cute. NutSac, okay, that's hilarious. But the thing is, it's cute exactly once, and it's only cute to some people. This is a joke. The NutSac thing is something, that's a joke I'd like to make on my own time and to the audience that I so choose. There are people in my life I would make a NutSac joke to. There are people in my life I would not. But this bag has decided it's going to make the joke for me by putting it right on the outside here. And in today's hypersensitive society, you really do want to be a little more careful about that. And so I really desperately wish that they had just put the acorn on the outside of the bag, and then on the inside here, just put a little tab that just says, NutSac Bags in the outside here, or something like that. That way, if you're looking inside, okay, whatever, that's no problem. But just having it on the outside spelled out was just not something that I particularly loved. And frankly, I could stand for a different brand name already. But the thing is, that's something that I just don't love having on there, because it's not going to be professional in a lot of situations. So if that's something you got to think about, that may be something you want to think about. And it's absolutely something I'm going to remove, on the one that I end up using. We'll talk about that in a bit here. But so to me, at least, that is the ugly of this bag. Is I really wish that they hadn't put the word branding NutSac on the outside of this, and they just stuck to the acorn. Let's talk final conclusion here. Okay, final conclusion. This is a very nice man purse. And I mean that in a couple of ways. I mean, if you were looking for this to literally be a man purse, to be something that you throw on your shoulder, and you keep all of your various needs in there. You keep an iPad, maybe you keep your EDC gear, your multi-tool, whatever. Throw it all in there. Case closed, problem solved. This is a really solid option for that. Because it is nice, it's durable. I think it's really well built, and it is actually reasonably attractive, at least to my particular taste. Thing is, though, it is also a little bit heavy. It's also very pricey. Well, not very, but it's pricey. And you are absolutely carrying a Murse, and that's not for everybody. The thing is, there are some improvements they could make. I hope that the future versions are just a touch larger. Fix the paper problem, guys. That to me is a big concern. I do hope that they're going to lose this NutSac external branding, at least just stick to the acorn on there. And I'd love to see that price come down a little bit to make it a little bit more competitive against some of what else is out there. The thing is, at the end of the day, I do like the bag a lot. I think there's a lot of joy here, and it is nicely made. And when I did get a computer that didn't fit well in this guy, I absolutely was ready to order one from him. And indeed, I did get the bigger version of this guy. The full-size guy is called the Satchel Pro. You can see it's actually not that much bigger here. Try and overlay the two of them. The Satchel Pro is just a little bit bigger on every dimension, but that little bit of bigness makes a big difference to me. Big difference, eh? Because there were very often days where I tried to put everything I needed to carry for a given day inside this guy and I just ran out of space, whereas that's not the issue with this bigger guy here. And this can carry a laptop, can carry a sheet of paper cleanly. I think for a lot of people who are using this to carry around stuff they're going to do work with, then this is not quite enough, and the bigger guy is definitely going to be better. But the thing is, if you are just looking for something to carry around a small collection of your personal effects, then this will work absolutely nicely, and I think that you can consider the NutSac to be tested cool. It barely worked. Anyways, I hope this has been interesting to you, and that this review was your bag, and that you have yourselves an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.